JP here with the grand finals of the MLG Summer Invite Online European qualifiers. It's time to watch SortOf go up against Nerchio in this intense ZVZ to see who will get seed number 1 going into the MLG Summer Arena. My co-caster for today is none other than Apollo. Now, Apollo, Nerchio is known as a ZVZ specialist. What is SortOf up against here?
Well, SortOf is currently leading 2-0, which helps out a lot, but what he's up against is one of the finest Zerg vs. Zerg players in Europe. Nerchio is a specialist in this matchup, as you said. He just gets it. He understands. He has the best control as well for baneling battles, for long, big engagements. So Nerchio is definitely the favorite going into this, but SortOf has beaten a decent amount of Zerg players leading up to the grand finals, so it's all to play for right now.
All right, well, some player shoutouts, of course. Down here in the bottom left-hand corner will be the red Zerg SortOf. Up here on the top right is going to be Acer's very own Nerchio as the blue Zerg. And it looks like Nerchio's practiced.
Nerchio is practiced.
So we'll see how well that practice pays off here. Now, talk to me a little bit about ZVZ, Apollo. For a while, it was basically known as kind of the most manic matchup there in StarCraft 2, and almost kind of a little bit of a flip coiny matchup where builds can basically counter build and win the game.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what it used to be. It was very, can I hit these lings? Can I stop banelings attacking mine and so on? But the thing is that's evolved over time is people have become very good at defending against ling baneling attacks, especially with the new queen change. And with the new queen change increasing their range a little bit more, is that it is easier to hold on. On Daybreak, it's a very big map for both these guys, and we are seeing a hat trick come down for SortOf, but Nerchio's using his trademark build, which is 15-15, 15 spawn and pull, 15 gas, which basically is very similar to Hatchery First, but it gets speed out faster. And the reason why Nerchio loves this style more so than Hatchery First is he loves to control the flow of the game, whether it be what his opponent has to make, he has to build spines, he has to build units, whether he builds drones or something. So this is basically Nerchio saying, I'm going to control the way this plays out until a lot later in the mid stages, and hopefully we'll be able to gain an advantage early on.
Now, army composition-wise, what are most Zergs going these days in this matchup? There was a time a little while ago where there was talk of Mutalisk becoming really prevalent in this matchup. Is that kind of the shining unit right now, or has it changed completely?
It used to be Mutalisk, and then it went away from it, and then it came back again, and then it went away from it again. And the reason why it went away this time is because players are actually using Ling banelings alone to take third bases in Zerg vs. Zerg. Because as long as you don't die to mass Lings, you can easily build enough Lings to build any Roach timings. So it's more about 3 bases, and then depending on which style they want to play, like double evolution chamber 1-1 Ling style into Infestor Ultra, or whether they try some form of mid-game Roach attack. But usually the early hectic style that Zerg vs. Zerg used to be known for has actually calmed down quite a bit.
Really? Huh. Well, maybe I need to start playing ZVZ a little bit more. This is one of the matchups, man. It came down to what race do I like the mirror matchup the least of, and it was always ZVZ, man. I hate this matchup. And as a random player yourself, do you find this to be your most despised matchup now?
No, actually, it's one of my favorites, actually. I mean, just the way that it's evolving so rapidly is very interesting in how it changes out here. And already we're seeing Nerchio with just 4 links, forcing more links out, and with a drone kill here as well. So that's the control of the game that I mentioned. He's forcing a spine crawler down. And of course, he won't get one himself. He'll drone behind it. But as his speed nears completion, he may opt to build 8 to 10 more links to regain the control, to force more pressure on, to scout his opponent, to bring down more units. And he's actually thrown down a Baneling Nest, not necessarily for aggression, but more so for defensive. And both of them probably defensive Baneling Nests, especially SortOf with a Spine Crawler down here. And I think Nerchio's going to increase that link count, as we said, and will look to do something, but I don't think he'll go over the top.
Now, is most of the style of play that we're going to see on Daybreak, is it going to be 2 base here, or will we see players go up to 3 base? You said that a lot of players are expanding off of Roach Baneling to 3 bases. Do you think we'll see that, the way the game's kind of playing out?
Yeah, definitely. I think we'll be going towards more 3-base style of play here. Definitely we'll be seeing that. But so, I mean, so far neither of them are going crazy in terms of unit production, as you can see, like only building a few units here and there. SortOf will probably morph defensive Balings as soon as he can here, and Nerchio's just droning heavily behind it.
And here are some Lings running by into the mineral line. They're going to be caught with 3 Lings on the other edge. That's Queen has such a long attack range. Will they be able to get into the main? And they do. It looks like 1 Ling will survive to see exactly what's going on. Sees the fact that that lair is being built, and sees that it's a little bit ahead actually of his opponents, and the Ling still stands, but it's already seen everything. So, he's actually he's attacking his own hatchery there, Apollo.
It's a pretty crazy Queen. But yeah, Nerchio did get the scout of the lair, so he knows what he's playing up against, and immediately throws down gases of his own, a spine crawler of his own, and a lair too. But seeing this early lair most likely leads to be an early infestation pit. You don't really see spires much, as I said before, so with a roach warren coming down for SortOf, he'll probably follow up with a pretty early infestation pit too. But Nerchio does need to take a third base of his own. He actually has an overlord spotting the third base of SortOf coming down, so with Lings and he's now morphed and has out, he has to take his own. Otherwise, he will fall way behind in terms of the economy. And there's the answer, really, from will we see 2 or 3 base play? It will most likely be 3. And Nerchio, actually, look at that, throwing down a Spire here. And this is something which will try and catch his opponent off guard, but I think SortOf's well equipped to deal with this.
Here are some Lings running into the army of Nerchio. Sees 2 of those Banelings. We also have 2 Banelings of SortOf morphing in right below. But they're not going to finish in time. And here comes a bunch more now for Nerchio. He's going to try and deny this third base. And SortOf really doesn't have all that much that he can deal with.
Yeah, he needs to morph and get Lings down. There's a bunch of Lings streaming across here by Nerchio because his Spire's not ready. He doesn't need to build drones. He's building Lings. So Nerchio is aiming to bring this hatch down. If this hatch actually doesn't go down, this is great news for SortOf. We'll have the gas, the money, everything to deal with Mutalisks.
And here are the Baneling Wars. Okay, that was 2 for 3 there. Huge clump of Lings. It looks like all the Banelings have been taken out, and Nerchio's going to have the bigger Ling count, which means this hatchery is seconds away, and it does get canceled there at the very, very last second. And that means SortOf is without a third base, as Nerchio's is about a fourth of the way complete.
And that's actually the best news in the world. And the reason why Spire doesn't play is because usually players can hold on to that third base. And if they can, then it's really difficult. But having killed that third base is now SortOf can't afford to go Infestors and Roaches and upgrades all at the same time. He just doesn't have the money. So he needs to cut down on one, whether it be Infestors or units. So basically that's the best case scenario in the world for Nerchio, who has a third base, who's taken a 5th and 6th gas as well, and is in a great position to set up his now flying attack upgrades, his Mutalisk reigning over the skies, and the Mutalisk play will control the game for now as well.
And there are the first clump of Mutas out right now, and they're already headed straight over for SortOf's base. Have some Infestors popping up, but they're only about halfway complete. Pathogen Clan's going to be finished here, as well as those missiles attack. Hatchery now about half of the way here for the third base, and it looks like that's going to be the focal point with these Mutas as they've been taking out Overlords on the way over.
Yeah, and he's going to pick off that Queen, easy peasy lemon squeezy, and down it does fall. And we have Infestors on the way, but Nerchio is good enough not to get trapped, I think.
Oh, and he gets actually a big clump there. Will he get the secondary fungal? It looks like he will, but I think that might not be enough there as he drops Infestors down. These Infestors do not have Burrow. A lot of Mutas being taken out there, but a lot still alive, and these Infestors really are kind of walking out and just dying without really doing all that much damage. Yeah,
and the Infested Terrans will clean up a bit now, so Nerchio, I mean, they loses 1 Mutalisk, but that's absolutely great, and great spreading as well, and another Queen will fall down, and shortly so will that hatchery too, as 20 more Lings and Mutas are in the production tab.
Yeah, here are some more Infested Terrans, but, I mean, those Mutas are so mobile, they can simply just run away there, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Might swing around and try to take out that hatchery, but here are the reinforcements from the Mutalisk, and with that, that hatchery most assuredly will fall. And that is a great, great place for Nerchio to be in now. Denying the space 2 times is really, really huge, especially now that he has his third up. But, a good fungal coming in, but I don't know if it's going to be enough, Apollo.
Yeah, it's not going to be enough, not with these Ling reinforcements here, and that third base will fall down. And once again, we're talking about how that affects SortOf. It hurts a lot. Even on the natural, there are Lings chasing Infestors and Queens. The Infestors do borrow, but at the same time, the third base is still going to fall. Drones are falling, and Nerchio's actually got a Roach Warren. He's got double Evolution Chamber, and can actually fall back onto 1/1 upgrades for his Roaches and still overtake in a normal style of play.
Yeah, right now the drone count is 60 to 44. 3 base against 2, 121 supply to 87. If those numbers don't tell the tale of the game, well, you need to get out of Bronze League, guys, because this is a completely one-sided game at this state of affairs. Although that third is still up, but SortOf has had to commit so much to keeping it alive.
Yeah, he's lost 20 drones. He's got Lings, or Nerchio has Lings inside the main base of SortOf as well, so he's killing a couple more as well. So 25 drones in total have gone down. The natural is not even mining for SortOf. Nerchio has a 4th and 5th base, and this is why he's known as the Zerg versus Zerg specialist. He has his one or just a single missile upgrade coming for his Roaches, but that 3rd base, JP, is about a 4.
Yeah, as much as SortOf has been trying to keep it alive, there is another fungal, but it falls regardless. And look at this, Nerchio taking his 4th, taking his 5th base. It is just going to be so hard for SortOf to come back here. He does have a good amount of infestors, but with the upgrades coming, with the sheer amount of production that Nerchio is going to have in a matter of moments, it is going to be very hard for the Zerg player who is up 2-0 in this series to come back in this 3rd game.
Yeah, Nerchio looking great so far, and with all the Roaches incoming now, finally starts that +1 carapace upgrade. He can throw down an infestation pit of his own now. He has a 4th and 5th base on the way, and he can get infestors of his own as well, so he can actually fight with exactly what SortOf has, but with twice the economy. Nerchio's currently sitting at 76 drones compared to 47. He's on basically 5 bases shortly here, and will take all the gases and will absolutely roll his opponent with the next attack. And the only way that SortOf can really stay in this game is if he lands money fungals. Like, they have to walk up a ramp, all the Roaches clump together, and SortOf just lands everything and wins with a counterattack. And that kind of scenario happens once every 1,000 games.
Absolutely, absolutely. Here comes SortOf going down the ramp as Nerchio is going back over to his 3rd. Does not see the hatchery. He's got to be very happy about that, but a good fungal now on a big clump of mutas, and those most definitely going to be taken out. Although he did take a couple shots onto Lings of his own. Needs to make sure not to lose any more of those infestors, and he finally gets cleaned up, bringing the Queens along with this, but some Roaches sneaking by. Looks like those were on, I guess, auto patrol all the way over there, but here comes Nerchio now, moving southward with his Roaches, just now finishing +1 against the equally upgraded Roaches of SortOf. Good fungals coming down, and this is actually looking pretty good at this moment for the Zerg player, SortOf.
Yeah, he's doing well. He will chase this army all the way back home, but the problem is the reinforcements and once they arrive together. We talked about how well the economy of Nerchio is currently sitting on 5 hatcheries across the map compared to just 2. So right now, SortOf has an advantage chasing back, but as the reinforcements come in now, as well as +1 carapace about to finish for Nerchio, he will put the fight into his opponent's hands.
Yeah, and with these small handful of Roaches actually taking out some of the infestors, that is going to be too much for SortOf to deal with here, as 1/1 Roaches are right down his ramp. We do have Burrow, though, as well as the increased healing here for SortOf, but 197 supply to the 127. There are a ton of units streaming in here. And let's see if this is enough. I do not believe it is, as the Concave is going to go to Nerchio.
Yeah, Nerchio's got this easy in the back there, and GG called from SortOf, and Nerchio comes out fighting, man. 2-1 now between these guys.
Absolutely. So, guys, we hope you join us right in the next game. Make sure to check it out here at MLG.tv as we head to Antigua Shipyard. We hope to see you guys there.